that's going. Awesome. Well, Happy New Year's. We made it. Uh, what a year 2020. It's like doing cardio and going through, you know, whether you're going to be doing 20 minutes or 30 minutes and hitting 15 and just saying like, oh, I just need to do one more. I just need to do one more until you can finally finish, right? And then you feel so much better when you're done. So we made it through, and now we can start fresh again. So during this morning's workout, um, I wanted to talk about what I felt while I was doing my cardio. I was about 16 minutes in when I started to feel all kinds of things. I felt that I was losing my balance. I felt a feeling on my butt, a feeling on my legs, of course. I got like a pressure in the back of my head, and also like it felt like pins and needles. But during that time is when I usually light up, and when I receive like all these ideas of things that I want to do. And so I was happy. I was really happy to get to that point. But I understand that it takes work to get there, that things don't just happen. By working on the process, we then receive the results from it. So the gym is a place where I can release my frustrations to the point where I feel at peace and I'm calm afterwards. You know, while being there, I I was listening to Hardstyle, and Hardstyle is some intense music. And there's an artist by the name of Headhunters, and he has a new song that just came out. It's called Transcendence. If you haven't listened to it, it is really good. It's so good that the very beginning, just the way that it begins, it's like it puts me into a trance-like state. So I just like kept replaying it over and over again, and it was a good way for me to sync up with the music, because when I listen to something that is really good, I'm able to move as the beat continues, and that way it actually like it pushes me to do more than I usually do. And then while I was driving home, I was listening to piano music, and there's a movie called Cloud Atlas, and the name comes from a song in that movie called the Cloud Atlas Sextet, which is a very beautiful, soothing, and inspiring song. And like that's exactly what I needed after I finished up with the gym, because when I'm driving home, I don't need to still be in this like high intensity mode. And as I'm driving home, being around all these people who seem like they're in a rush, but like where are you even going? Luckily, I don't have to feel rushed, and I could just go home and honestly, I've just been listening to piano music since then. So okay. So I said that I wanted to create something tangible, something that you could take with you. And I've been working on it for quite some time now. It will be what a lifetime of experiences can produce. That is something that's pushing me to have a much better year this year. Like 2021 for me is a lot of things that I'm working on and looking to do. I have something to look forward to, and also a realistic time frame as to how I can make it happen. And as I was writing down all these ideas, um, I have a tiny whiteboard here on the side. You can't see it, but I usually write down things as they come to me throughout the day, especially when I'm either working or I'm on the computer. And I needed a second whiteboard because I couldn't fit any more ideas there. So I ended up rearranging my room so that I can get a second whiteboard and, put down more ideas. Doing that helps me to fulfill those ideas. Like, I can't just receive them and not do anything about them. I have to do something. And so one of the things that I'm working on, and then I'd like to do this year, is I'd like to put myself in a place where when I wake up, I'm inspired. And as I sat there and as I imagined what a room would look like that would inspire me, I thought I need more space, and I need big windows that will let natural lighting in. And as I'm doing that, I realize, wait, like I can rearrange things in my room to at least feel somewhat like that right now. It doesn't necessarily mean that I need a new place or a new room, but of course I'm gonna work towards that. But as I have what I have right now, I'm making the most of what I have. And I've done New Year's resolutions in the past. It doesn't need to be a new year in order to decide that you're going to set a goal and work towards something new. In the past few years, I've been able to progress, and I've been able to see that you can always set goals in order to move forward and to have something to look forward to. Things that are for you, we don't necessarily have to tell other people, and it's not for them anyway. So what we can do is we can create these things throughout the year, and it can be something that, because we feel that it matters that much to us, that we can make an effort into making it happen, and to feel satisfied about, how you're using your time. So the other night, it was New Year's, and of course I stayed up late. We were celebrating. It was a lot of fun. And the next day, I had a friend who asked me, like, how do you fall asleep when you have your mind racing like that after a long night? Like, I think of times when I was younger and when I would lay in bed and I would just like imagine this story in my head, and I could be there for, an hour, 2 hours, and I still haven't fallen asleep. Like, why couldn't I fall asleep? But at this point, I'm in a time in my life where I do so much throughout the day, so much that I want to do. Like, I'm using my time in the best way that I can. And because of that, when I get to bed, I fall asleep right when my head hits the pillow. Like, it's very quick. And it's something that's satisfying, that at the end of the day, I know I did everything that I possibly could in order to feel satisfied and feel fulfilled with what I did that day, that I could just lay my head and I could just say, okay, Kevin, now you can relax. If there's anything that you're looking to do, you can always do it the next day. Because as much as I've been pushing myself, I know that I need to get better sleep. This year especially. If I'm exhausting myself so much and I'm exhausting myself quickly, then I should know that if I just rest a little longer, then that should give me that extra boost of energy I need. The other day I was in a moment of a lot of anxiety. And so I take stimulants daily. What I mean by stimulants is things like caffeine. And things like that can be helpful, but it can also burn you out quickly. at some point, we don't have any more energy to use. So those things can't just be something that we rely on in those moments. Like, I can sleep a little longer if I need to. I can take a nap during the day if I need to. Because being in a state of anxiety, I could see it even on my face. Like, my skin reacts to so many things, and when I don't get enough sleep, I'm like really red. And and like I can tell that I'm like frustrated, and I don't have that energy to keep going. But, because I'm a masochist, I fight through it. But I think at this point I've come to terms with the fact that I just need to rest, to relax. That way what we're doing is something healthier, and we're taking care of ourselves. Because how can I push myself so much unless I am also giving myself the rest that I deserve? Because of how volatile this past year was. People who said they were going to be there weren't. And if we hinge our emotional state on those people and then they leave, then we're left here to pick up the pieces alone. But the love, the words, the encouragement, the forgiveness, and the reassurance that we need is our own. Self-love is something we could all use. And thank you for listening, guys.